Hey there, YouTubers. Kitten Hoarder here, and you're watching Session Report, the show that takes you to the gamer's table to share in the surprises that come out during play. And today we are going to be playing March of Pandemic Legacy Season 1. Ooh, forgot to remove these from the board to my last game. So, if you have not seen my previous videos on Pandemic Legacy, one thing that you should know is that this is a game of surprises and ongoing narrative. If you have never played the Pandemic Legacy game and know very little about it, I highly recommend you go back to my first video on early January and begin there. There are spoilers in this game, and if you start in the middle, you are going to, have those spoilers spoiled for you. In addition, you should probably start from the beginning because, as I said, there is sort of an ongoing narrative to the game from month to month to month. Things change and have permanent effects on the outcome of the game. It could be as little as putting a sticker on the board, or as big as having permanent changes to the nature of these diseases. Now, I'm not going to get into any more rules discussion since I already did that in my first video. So for now, let's just get started. Now, in my last game I won. It was a rather easy game because the blue disease, which is Coda 403B, should have been a real pain in my behind, but it actually never ever came up. It was one of the first 9 cards to be drawn, but that card never came up again, and basically I never had to deal with it. So that made it a very easy game. All I had to do was cure 3 diseases, easier than the normal pandemic by far. And I had some good bonuses with these quarantines. These helped me out a lot. Okay, so prior to my first game in March, I'm going to start looking at this stuff. This is my next month's Legacy deck. So let's start here. March, mission briefing. We've been preparing for this contingency. Coda is causing panic, so we've hired paramilitary assistants to help with the trouble spots. You are to partner with them to keep things under control until more research can be done on Coda. You also need to complete 2 objectives this month. We know you are up for this challenge. Now, every month before then, I've had just one objective: cure the diseases. It's very big start of me having to do more than one objective. From this point on, whenever you see these circles, open them and resolve them one at a time. All right, so we have these circles here. Now I can keep drawing, but first I should draw or open up these files in the dossier. So here I have my confidential top secret dossier, and let's see, what are we looking at for X? X. Professor Xavier. Alright, this looks long and skinny. What could that be? I've opened something like it before. I think it was rules text. And you know what? If it's a letter, I'm pretty sure it's always going to be rules text. So let's open this up. Ooh, and I have secret clearance to open package 2. So let's begin by adding this rules text to the rulebook. Military bases. Okay. This is going on rule sticker X. Is a new type of structure. Rules sticker X, military bases. Characters may take the military shuttle flight action between 2 military bases if their character has the dog tag symbol on it, which the quarantine specialist did. Players cannot fly between military bases and any other types of structures. Interesting. So it's like a less good research station. And I get to open package 2. So find package 2 in here. We will open this up. And here we are. We have some cool little military bases. Alright, so I'm going to put these over here, hopefully not dropping anything, near where my research stations live. And we now have some military bases. Perfect. And this little baggie, I'm going to save for later because I collect these things. Never have too many baggies. If you're a board gamer, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm now going to open and resolve, where is my pile of cards? Number 43. 43, here we go. Add a sticker to each reference card. So this is where those blank spaces were. Alright, so I guess it doesn't matter which side of the reference card I use. So we're going to add a sticker, and this is going to explain how military bases work. Just the military shuttle flight. So we still don't really know how the military bases get into play. That was not centered at all. One thing about having stickers in games, I suck at applying stickers. That one was much better. Okay. And so I wonder how these military bases are going to come into play. I'm sure it's going to be explained immediately. And I bet I'm going to get a new character with these dog tags. Alright. Because I did not receive an action to build a military base. So I wonder, do those just get built at the start of the game, or is there a special character who can build them, or what? This is going to be interesting. Okay. Very good. Put this off to the side, and we have one more to open, number 5. Number 5. Number 5. Alright, here we go. New scars. These scars are now available. Exhausted. You may drive ferry to no more than 2 times on your turn. That's interesting. Panicky. You may never enter a collapsing or falling city. Hobbled. You may never enter a fallen city. Interesting. You'd much rather have hobbled, it seems like. Alright, so these scars are now available. Now I wonder if I should put these over here with the relationships. Now I'll put them over here. Alright, cool. New scars. Not that I'm going to need them. My characters don't get scars, as you can see from my previous game. And one of those things with these styles of games, I am very protective of my characters. I tend to sort of screw myself over in the short run if I can get some sort of long-term benefit out of it. I'm all about the long term. It's interesting because I'm not really about long-term strategy in non-campaign style games. But in campaign style games, I will definitely take the less beneficial short-term outcome if it'll give me a more beneficial long-term outcome. And part of that is protecting my characters from scars. Alright, what do we have here? New cards. A new objective. Eradicate at least 1 disease. Oh, I can do that. Oh, yes, I can do that. Or have a military base in each of the 6 major regions of the world. That's fun. Okay. So I get to pick one of these 2 in addition to my regular objective of curing 3 diseases. And we get a new character. The name is the Operations Expert. As an action, build a structure in the city you are in. No card required. Once per turn, as an action, move from any city containing a structure to any city, including rioting, collapsing, and falling cities, by discarding any city card. That's not bad at all. Okay, I may use him in my new game, partially because then I can set up a relationship between him and someone else. And we have more. This remote outpost. Play at any time not in action. Add 1 military base to any city. No discard needed. Okay. At the end of your first game in March, before selecting your game end upgrades, open the following doors and then draw this card. So, I know what to do. And we will put this over here. So, I now have these military bases to help me out. It doesn't seem like, well, I guess I have that additional objective, but eradicating a disease, that's something I'd like to do anyway. The military base thing seems like it's something I might want to do. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any more in-game surprises on this one. That first one, that was a doozy. That mid-game surprise in January, that was a rough one. But let's try eradicating more diseases this game. I think I can do it. What do you think? I can definitely eradicate some red disease. Get it all the way up to 4 positive mutations. That'd be cool. All right. So let's continue with the setup. All right, we've got our initial structures out. We're going to place our outbreaks. So I've already shuffled these decks up, so it should be pretty good. We'll do our first Bangkok, 3. Beijing, 3. Jeez Louise. And Montreal. Seriously? Montreal again? Come on now. Khartoum, 2. Where's Khartoum? There's Khartoum. Karachi, 2. And Kolkata, 2. And then we have our last, Chicago, 1. The Bears. Washington, 1. So here's my blue cards. And Delhi, 1. Okay, that's actually pretty nice. I got a clear line of disease to go cure for my first few rounds. Okay, place my outbreaks, placed all my objectives, place infection rate marker and infect the 9 cities, select funded events and add them to the deck. Okay, so I have only 2 funded events this round, or this game. That One Quiet Night, passing that one around, that was pretty useful. I may keep that. We're going to keep the One Quiet Night. And I think we're going to keep the flexible aid package. Get additional actions. Those both seem like pretty useful funded events, so we're going to shuffle those in to the deck here. And we're going to deal out the player cards. So I got to shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Never a kerfuffle. You know that shuffling song. Hope I don't get sued. All right. Let's do a quick shuffle on that. And So, give everybody their starting cards. 1, 2. The blue ones. Of course we need those. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Interesting. None of the events. All right, what do we have next? We're going to set up the epidemics. So, give this another quick shuffle. Then we're going to select our characters and starting location. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No reason to film that part. So I'll set up the epidemics and I'll get my character set up. Okay, so I have finished setup. I've decided not to go with the operations expert yet, and for a couple of reasons. One, I really like the team that I had last time. Unless one of them gains a scar or runs into some other kind of trouble, I can't see any compelling reasons to not use the same team. Particularly, I definitely want Sid and the medic to be eradicating diseases, because that's one possible objective. And I also want Selen to be quarantining, since I can't cure Coda still, and I can't treat Coda. And then it makes sense to keep Naomi Hunter, since she has existing relationships with the, with Derek Stiles. So that's one reason. The other reason is I'm going to wait and see if I can get more characters with these dog tag symbols, because they're the only ones who can use these new structures. Now, I did figure out why there's no rule for building a military base. It's because it counts as a structure. And the build a structure specifically says build a structure, right? So it could be a military base. But the military bases are useless except for completing this objective, unless you have characters who have these dog tags. And so far, it's just these two. So I don't see any real point until I have maybe a third character with dog tags, or if I find out this eradicating thing is not going to work out as a secondary objective. I don't see much point in bringing him in. And the last reason is I want to wait and see what other new characters I get, so I can get him a relationship with maybe a new character that comes in. So hopefully get new characters at the beginning of every game. We'll see. And maybe get him a better relationship. So I'm just kept my same team. I put them in a random order again, so it's going to go Naomi, Selen, Derek, and then Sid. And the last thing I need to do is take my win bonus. Add one quarantine marker anywhere on the board. And of course I'm going to put the quarantine marker here in Montreal, because I can't see any good reason, again, not to do that. I want to prevent outbreaks of that blue disease which cannot be even treated. So I've done my win bonus, and I am ready to begin the first turn. Okay, people, I apologize profusely. I thought I was recording this whole time. I've actually had several times where I realized, oh no, something went wrong. I pressed the wrong button or something, and I wasn't recording, and I apologized, as I'm doing now. I explained the situation of the game up until this point. I continued playing a few turns, and then I realized I still wasn't recording. I don't know. I've got my head on backwards or something today. But in any case, hopefully I'm actually recording this. I'm not just talking to myself. And let me catch you up on what's going on here. We have 1.5 rounds of play about. We've actually already had 2 epidemics. But we've also cured one of the diseases so far, and I'm going to try to eliminate that disease. The bad news is that the blue disease, Coda 403b, is actually being a threat this game, unlike the last one. And you can see I've got Montreal, San Francisco, and Milan. They all have 3 blue cubes on them. Remember, you cannot treat this disease. The only thing I can do is quarantine it and try to contain it. So I'm planning on having Naomi sort of march around the board and try to put quarantine tokens down. Selen Estrella is going to do her best as well. But like I said, I'm not sure what's going on with this video. So I've got a pretty good grasp on eliminating, or what do you call it? Getting rid of the red disease. What do you call that? Eradicating the red disease. So I'm going to work on that. I pretty much am done with getting the yellow disease under control. I've got almost a cure for that, and then I just have to bide my time until I can cure the black disease. Remember, I need to do 2 objectives this game, and eradicating at least 1 disease seems like it's well within my grasp. So I'm not even sure whose turn I just had. It's been a terrible morning. So I believe, I know I just had an epidemic. I believe Selen Estrella just went, which makes it Derek Stiles' turn. I hope I'm correct. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Derek Stiles' turn. So he's going to go 1, 2, instantly cure this. 3, instantly cure this. And I guess he will put down a quarantine token here because not much else he can do. He's going to get moved to Sydney on the next turn. So that's that. And yeah, I really don't remember if it was his turn or Estrella's turn, but I hope I'm just going to say it was Derek's turn. And he's going to go 1, 2. He's got a couple blue cards, and then we are going to go 1, Bangkok. Oh no, not another red cube. And 2, Seoul. All right, quarantine is lifted in Seoul, and we are going to continue. All right, thank God, I heard the 3 beeps. That means that part recorded. So we're going to go on Sid Highwind's turn. Sid's got some work to do here. He wants to get 1 yellow card to Selen Estrella. Now, he could just fly somewhere and discard a card, so that's not a big problem. So I think what he's going to do first is he's going to fly the medic over to him using his special ability. Fly the medic over here. Well, the medic can just walk there. 3, and Bangkok, that removes the last red cube off of the board. Hemorrhagic fever has been eradicated for this game, so we are sort of well on our way to winning, which is good. And then we have to deal with getting that yellow card. So I think what he's going to do, he has Kinshasa and Buenos Aires. What should he do? See, Derek has Los Angeles, and that's the one I was planning on giving to Estrella. But unfortunately, I guess I did not realize that it was Derek who had Los Angeles, not Sid. So he has Buenos Aires and Kinshasa. Not much he can do, he could discard a card, and then Estrella would have to discard 2 cards to grab that card. But she doesn't have those 2 cards to discard. I'm not sure if she actually did get a turn last round. So what should he do instead? Put somebody someplace useful. We have Chennai. Somebody needs to get to Karachi. Alright, I think I'm going to have, as his last action, he's going to move Derek Styles up here so Derek can start treating the black disease. That was it. So he's going to draw 1, 2. Ooh, very good. We got a couple black cards out. That's good. And then Khartoum. Alright, we're going to lift the quarantine on Khartoum. Actually, because Estrella is there, the quarantine token is not discarded. And then Washington, get 1 more blue cube. Okay, so we are really in trouble with Washington, or with the blue disease in general. So that means Naomi's turn. We know what she's doing. She needs to get quarantine tokens out. So Naomi is going to fly over here. 1, 2. She's going to put a quarantine token down there. She can't treat it. And she's going to, see, she's in Milan, which means she could, if she shared with Derek Styles, she could fly anywhere, but the problem is, oh dear. Okay, so what have we had out from the deck so far? Washington, San Francisco, and Milan. That means that Montreal is still a danger. But Montreal has a quarantine token. So I think we're okay for this turn. We're going to have to be careful for the next turn. So she's going to go, I think, over here. Then she's in Essen. She can get this Essen card from Derek and fly. Actually, maybe as her last action, she will just take this Milan card. And then she is in a position to fly anywhere from Milan. Okay. That's good. We will draw 2. Hopefully no epidemics. 1, 2. Okay, and we have Montreal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's her last card she can have. Karachi experiences a breakout. Alright, so Karachi is the first one. For that city. Oh, I didn't move this for the last one we had. We had one already in San Francisco. I think that was it. And then we're moving it again for this one. And then we get some black cubes out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 connections. So we're going 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, good thing Derek is on the way. Was that 2 cards? That was just 1 card, I believe. Beijing. Nothing happens with Beijing, thank goodness. Okay, because that has been eradicated. Okay, now we are Estrella's turn. Okay, so she has this Khartoum card. She needs to get another yellow card. Just 1 more yellow card. And then she can cure the disease. but she also really needs to get some quarantine tokens out. So she's going to start by putting a quarantine token in San Francisco, because that one's the more dangerous one if we get another breakout there. She's in Khartoum already, so she could discard this Khartoum card to go to Washington. She's going to do that. 2, even though we really need to cure that yellow disease, we also really need to stop breakouts from occurring with blue. So she's discarding Khartoum to fly over to Washington. That was 2. 3, and then when she discards Khartoum, no, I'm not going to have him discard any cards because he wants those black cards. 2, 3, and that's really it. I sort of want to keep her here, so there's not really anything else she can do. Yeah, she's going to stay where she is. And she's going to draw. Okay, so she got another yellow. She still just needs that one more yellow. And then we're going to draw 1 Chicago. The one thing I did not have, dang it, a token on it yet. And Delhi. Okay, black disease is worrying me this game. Oh, this is no good at all. Alright, luckily we have Derek Styles to the rescue. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That was easy enough. And that was basically his turn. And now we've got the black disease sort of under control for now. Still concerned about this Chicago. We need to keep the quarantine strong in North America, because we only have a few blue cubes left. And I know an epidemic is coming soon. Oh, thank God. Oh, no. All right, let's see what this is. Hope it's not blue. Okay, come on. Baghdad. Oh, that's good in a way, because it's not blue. All right, Baghdad has an outbreak or something. Move the infection marker up, and we're going to shuffle these cards. And I think I will play the One Quiet Night event. Now, unfortunately, he is not one of the 2 rivals, so we can't do the thing we did last game where we just kept trading the One Quiet Night event back and forth. But I think it's probably a good time to play One Quiet Night, because we don't want any more of these blue cards being drawn, particularly not in Chicago, and that is a possibility. So we're playing One Quiet Night. And then we have Sid Highwind's turn. All right, Sid. This is where he needs to get any yellow card to Estrella. Now, she has the 2 cards she can discard, so he could just actually warp to anywhere he wants. And I think he's going to do that. It will either be Kinshasa or Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires is closer to the action, so he's going to just discard this card to warp to Buenos Aires. And he will warp himself there. So Buenos Aires. She will immediately discard 2 cards to get that card back from him. Now, she has the 5 needed to cure it. She doesn't even need to be in a research station. So we are on our way to curing that yellow disease. We just need 2 more for the black disease, and we need to keep this blue under control. Okay. So that was one of his actions. For 2, oh dear. I mean, there's not really anything he wants to do. I want to keep these 2 characters where they are. I don't want to move Derek Stiles into the line of fire. Because if he's standing in Baghdad, when it outbreaks, he's going to have a world of hurt. Is there any way to set up to get him this Cairo card? That was 1. Where's Cairo? Oh, Buenos Aires was a research station. I didn't even have to discard it. Well, I did want to discard the card. Never mind. But if I can go to then 2, 3... Problem is, I don't want to move Dr. Hunter from where she is. Because she's standing where this quarantine token is, so that at the start of her turn, if that quarantine has been disrupted, she can put the token down again before moving. Oh dear. So I could just have him hang out in Cairo, I guess. Well, wait a second. Well, if he goes here, 2, 3, and he can remove a black cube from Baghdad, that's better. Yeah, then there won't be an outbreak. That's perfect. Yeah, good. All right, he's going to draw up 1, 2, and he's got Kolkata. He has 4 of the 5 black cards we need. We have the 5 yellow cards. We have eradicated one of the diseases. We just need to last long enough to have Selen's turn, get him a black card, and have his turn. Oh my goodness, this is going to be tough. But I think we can do it. So those were his 2 cards. We're going to infect. We're at infection level 3 now. 1, it's Baghdad. Thank goodness he went there. 2, it's Khartoum. So we're going to remove this quarantine token. And 3, it's San Francisco. We're going to remove that quarantine token. Okay, perfect, perfect. This is great. This is going very smoothly. Okay, it's Dr. Hunter's turn. First thing she's going to do is she's going to discard this Milan card, and she's going to do a flight out of Milan into San Francisco. Now, San Francisco is rioting. Oh, I cannot do a direct flight or charter flight in or out. So I'm going to have to go to Chicago instead. So that's 1 action. 2, put down a quarantine token. 3, 4, put down another quarantine token. And that is essentially her entire turn. This will work out, I think. Because I can, on Derek's turn, or not Derek's turn, on Sid's turn, I can move him to Cairo, move her to Cairo, take the card, and then I'm 1 short from being able to cure the frickin' disease. Oh, that's annoying. I don't know if I can last 2 rounds. Maybe somebody else is going to get a black card. I mean, it's always the possibility somebody else is going to draw a black card. So we'll just leave that as it is. And 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, so he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. She doesn't really need any of the red cards at all, so she's just going to discard one of the red cards she just drew. We're going to infect. Oh, come on. Bangkok, that's perfect. Delhi. Well, it's not perfect, but, you know, it's fine. And Washington. So the Washington This is perfect because Selen is there, so the quarantine token does not get removed, but nothing happens. That's great. All right, Selen's turn. She's going to play all 5 of these cards to cure the yellow disease. Because it has a common structure, she does not need to be in a research station to discover the cure. All right, perfect. Any blue that I need to worry about? No. Okay, so she has cured the yellow disease. She could then go to Atlanta, go to Baghdad, and lay down another quarantine there. It seems like that's the best thing to do. So she's going to go 2, 3. Well, that doesn't put the quarantine token there. All right, so what she's going to do, she's going to stay where she is. It's better to keep the quarantines going there. And she's going to put a quarantine token in Baghdad, though, as her special action. And she might just not do anything else this turn. It seems like a waste, but she has no cards to give. She doesn't really want to receive any cards. And, well, let's see what has already had the tokens. So Washington, San Francisco, and Baghdad. So she could move into Montreal. She could move into Montreal or Chicago and keep those cities safe. So she's going to go to Montreal and try to keep Montreal safe. We're going to do 1, 2, and then 1, 2, not the one I planned for, 3. And the Karachi is right here. Okay, great. It's Derek Stiles' turn. Derek is going... I mean, I could so easily eradicate the yellow disease. I think I might do that. Derek is going to go... One. Now he's going to go down to Riyadh. 1, 2. He's going to take a direct flight to Los Angeles. 3. No. Okay, go back to where he was. Because he needs to get a quarantine token on Chicago. We need to protect Chicago. He can do a direct flight. He can't do a direct flight into San Francisco, but he could go to Essen. Oh, perfect. Okay, he's going to fly directly to Los Angeles. 1, 2. Oh, no, this is not perfect. 3. 4. And I'm not quite reaching Lima to eradicate that disease. It's not a huge deal because I don't really need to worry about the yellow. Oh, and there's also this yellow cube over here I didn't even notice about. So it's not a huge deal. I already eradicated one disease, and I cured yellow. I just need to figure out how to deal with the black disease. Maybe he should have stayed where he was. And done something with these black cubes, but I don't know. Okay, so he's going to draw 2. 1 for Baghdad. Oh, this is perfect. This is great. 2 for Tehran. We got Milan. All right, Milan, I believe, is up here. It loses its quarantine token. We got Seoul. Does not need any. And we got St. Petersburg, which I did not protect. So we got that, but this is perfect. Sid's turn. He's flying Derek back to Baghdad. He's taking the Baghdad card from Derek. He's moving to Istanbul, where there's a research station, and he is curing the black disease. And just like that, we have completed 2 objectives. We've eradicated the red disease once again, and we have discovered cures to the 3 normal diseases. There we go. Okay, so it's time for our game end bonus. Okay, so at the end of the first game in March, before selecting your game end upgrades, open the following doors, then draw this card. We have doors 21 and 22. Doors 21 and 22. Okay. New game end upgrades. That's pretty cool. Add these to the pool of upgrades available at the end of the game. Person can become a veteran and get those dog tags. Local pressure. If you are in a military base, you may quarantine an adjacent city with the quarantine action. Formidable. You may use a city card from an adjacent city when building any structure. That's pretty cool. So these are all character upgrades that I could use. And then 22, I wonder if these are more game end upgrades. They are starting military bases. Oh, okay. Add these to the pool of upgrades available at the end of the game. Starting military bases. Select a city currently containing a military base. There are none of them. And add a starting military base sticker. Add a military base to every city with one of these stickers during the setup of all future games. When placing a starting military base sticker, place it close to the city. Alright. Alright, so we've got new scars to deal with. We've got new character upgrades. We've got new starting structures. And then we are going to reveal this at the end of your first March game card. And that looks like is the only one. And then we just have our first April game card coming up. So, scratch this bonus off if you win a game in March. We did win a game, which unfortunately means our funding is going down. We're going to have 0 funding next game. It's going to be rough. And we're going to scratch this off. For any game played in April after setup and before the first turn, we know all that. Add 1 military base anywhere on the board. Okay. That works. Like I said, I have not really been playing with the military bases. But, I mean, maybe I could make somebody a veteran, give them those dog tags. We'll see what we decide for our game end upgrade. Okay, so time for my game end upgrades. I think I'm going to continue working on making hemorrhagic fever a thing of the past by giving it another positive mutation. This time, easier agents. You can discover the cure to the disease with 1 fewer card. Should make things a lot easier in future games. So there we go for that. It's all set up. And I've decided I'm going to get one of these unfunded events. So as a game end upgrade, add an unfunded event to any city card that does not already have a sticker on it. These cards can be played normally or as events and do not count toward funding. So I'm thinking, which city card do I need the least? It's going to be a blue one, because I don't need to cure, well, at least right now, there's no way to cure or treat the blue disease. And it's going to be one where I already have a research station. So the perfect one to become an unfunded event would be Atlanta. So I'm going to take this unfunded event and add it to Atlanta. So I have 3 options. Experimental program, remove 1 disease cube anywhere on the board, Trending data, look at as many infection cards as the current infection rate, do not change their order. And grassroots program. Person who plays this card may discard up to 3 city cards, removing 1 cube matching the color of each card from anywhere on the board. That's perfect. That's perfect. Because, remember, you cannot treat the blue disease, but it does not say you cannot remove cubes of the blue disease. It just cannot be treated. So I think this is a great idea. We're going to try this grassroots program in Atlanta. This is perfect. The reason I'm doing this unfunded event, I'm not sure if I actually said it or if I just thought it, is because my funding is going down to 0 next game. As we can see, and when I start April, my funding will be at 0. I will not be able to add any funded events. So adding this unfunded event to the deck is a little way of counteracting that. All right, let's record the rest of the data for this game. It is 10:30. Our characters are the scientist, the quarantine specialist, the medic, and the dispatcher. And it was a win. And then I will record the same information on the back of the character card. So, that's it for March. We're heading into April. We have a fairly good track record, but things are getting a little hairy with these funding levels. So I'm not sure what's going to happen next. I think I might take a little break from this game for a little bit again. Hopefully not 8 more months, but maybe a few weeks. We'll see. And when I come back to it, we'll take a look at this first April card. But for now, of course, in the words of my uncle, that's all she wrote.